Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. So I am like as swollen as a human being can be. I consumed so much salt and just ridiculous food yesterday. I need like some sort of like cleanse. And I have marker all over my hands from coloring with my kids this morning. So clearly I should not color before coffee. I wanted to tell you a story. Years ago, when I lived in LA, I had a very good friend who is an incredibly talented actress. I still have. And she had recently gotten married. I think they were married maybe 2 years. And she asked me to meet her for a drink, and I did. And Michael and I were dating, but we weren't like getting married. And she told me that she was thinking about separating from her husband. And I was like, what? You just got married. Aren't you supposed to be like in the newlywed stage or whatever? I was young, P.S., and knew this much about marriage. So I was certainly not in any position to be giving anyone advice. I just thought, I had always heard that when you first got married, the first couple of years were like the best. So I'm like, well, why? What's going on? So she proceeds to explain that her husband is constantly making jokes at her expense. And I'm like, so you're going to divorce him because he makes jokes? And she was like, yeah, I don't think I can do this for the rest of my life. I can't be the punchline or the brunt of somebody who supposedly loves me. I can't be the brunt or punchline of their jokes for the rest of my life. So she's like, you're really not getting it, are you? I'm like, no. She tries to give me a few examples, but you know me, I love to tell a joke. Like I'm like, I'm a lot of things inside. One of them is a comedian. I'm like Johnny Carson. You know, I was young. I was 26 or something, 27. I didn't get it. So she's like, come out with us. So a couple of nights later, we go out and there's a group of people. And I notice that the jokes he's making at first are easy to laugh at. But as the jokes go on, I'm feeling guilty that I'm laughing or I'm feeling uncomfortable. And I'm looking at her slink into her seat as she becomes the punchline for her husband's jokes. And I'm young, but I'm wise enough to know that this is a man with deep-rooted insecurity and control issues who uses embarrassment and jokes to elevate himself and make himself feel better about his insecurities. Maybe the fact that she's more successful in her marriage as an actress than he is as an actor. Whatever the case may be, she gets more attention in their day-to-day life. So when they're out with friends, he does whatever he can to embarrass her. So somebody makes a comment about the show she's on, and he immediately launches into a bit about the role was cast as, and like, so he goes on, and I finally go, you know what's so interesting about that? They saw 15 actresses for that part and couldn't find anybody for the part, so they were going to write the part out of the series. I had read this online or heard it somewhere. I said, and then they saw your wife. And she was everything that they had been looking for. And so I put it on him in front of everyone. I said, aren't you so proud of her? I mean, really, don't you just want to tell everyone you know that your wife is the one who... And I thought that it would make the point. And instead he got angry. So she gave me the let it go, because I'm not one to back down from a fight. And I saw her like about a week later, and she said, "Do you see now what I live with?" And I said, "Oh yeah, you got to divorce him. He's got to go." Of course, I was 20 something and knew nothing about marriage, so telling someone to get divorced was very easy, because when you're not married and you've never been married, you go, "Oh, you're not happy? Get divorced. Divorce. Sign your name. I am divorced." Obviously, as I am now married and have many times thought if I never saw Michael again, it would be too soon. Many times I wanted to pull his bottom lip to his forehead and staple it there. Getting divorced is not an option for me, or, you can't just get divorced. It's not like returning shoes. So anyway, we talked about it. We went to lunch and she was like, "I can't live like this." I said, "Yeah, no. Nobody can live like that." And the fact that he gets angry, he's got deep-seated issues, and if he doesn't work them out, he'll be making fun of you in front of your kids. Like, no way. And she said, "But do you understand how hard it is to have to tell people that you want to get divorced because your husband makes jokes about you? People go, get over it. It's a joke." But it isn't. It is so much more than just a joke. Part of being in an emotionally abusive relationship is being with somebody who needs to control your emotions, whether they do it through put downs, whether they do it through jokes, whatever their tactic is. These are symptoms of, part of being part of an emotionally abusive relationship. When the person you are with is constantly making jokes at your expense, friend, family, or lover, they are trying to emotionally control you. You were not created to be emotionally controlled by anybody. You are not meant to be the brunt of anybody's joke. You were not created to be a punchline. You are not made to feel minuscule or irrelevant. We already know that in your very creation, you were created to be outstanding. If you are not surrounded by people who want to help you be the best version of yourself, take inventory of the relationships that you're in and how people speak to you, about you, and of you. If they are making jokes about you, if you are the punchline of someone's jokes, figure out a way to either set boundaries and say, "This does not work for me. I will no longer be the I'm not the punchline for your jokes. And P.S. sit down because you're not a comedian." Or find a way to move on. I'm not telling anyone to get divorced or whatever. I'm saying, if someone is making fun of you, if they are belittling you, if they are making jokes at your expense, they are doing that to keep a thumb on you. They are not interested in seeing you live and reign at your full potential. They are threatened by you, so they are using those tactics to keep you down. You were not created to be kept down by anybody. I mean, it simply goes against your creation. And who are we to argue with creation, right? Really look at the relationships in your life. If you are going through this, or if you know someone who's doing this to someone else, this is an emotionally abusive relationship. They may not consciously realize that that's what they are doing. So take the time to have the conversation and say, "This is what you are doing and this is how it makes me feel." But follow that up with, "I will no longer tolerate it. As soon as you make a joke at my expense, I am going to get up and leave the room. And I promise you that my absence will make you look stupid. So let's figure out a way to move forward where it's mutually beneficial for both of us and mutually funny." Or become a joke teller and start writing jokes at their expense, right? And when they make a joke about you, go, "Oh, that's so funny because," and then tell your own joke about them and see how they like it. They won't. It won't be funny. Trust me. Okay, it's Saturday, which means it's soccer. I love you so much today. Have a great day.